Chapter 2, Module 2, we're looking at example number 4. We're going to use a polynomial function and technology to model some data here. Okay, so this is the year. Okay, so 2000, 2001, 2004, all the way to 7. Then over here it starts another 2008, 2009, all the way to 2014. And then this column is the backpack sales in millions of dollars. Okay, so we want to see if we can just go ahead and plot this data in order to come up with some type of model, some polynomial function that represents this model. So I'm going to step you through it kind of on a calculator how you would enter this in. Okay, basically these are our x's and these are our y's, right? So we're going to put it into a list. So this would be our list 1 and this is going to be our list 2. Okay, and so here's how you do it. If you have a calculator when you get to school, this is how you do it. So first of all, you're going to hit the catalog button, which is underneath the 0. You're going to have to hit like second 0 to hit this catalog button. And then you're going to scroll down to D. So you turn it on, second 0. You're going to scroll down to hit D. You're just going to go down to your D's, which you might be able to get faster by pushing D. And so that is alpha, and then alpha and the x -1 button. That will hit D, and then so it'll go straight to the D's, and then you can scroll down until you see this diagnostic on. And once you see that diagnostic on, you can hit enter. Okay, and then hit enter again, and then it'll say done. Right? Okay, then I can hit the stat button. So you hit that stat button, and then it says edit, and then you can just hit enter again. And then what I'm going to do in list 1, I'm going to enter in my years, right? So starting 2000, I'm not going to enter the 2000. I'm actually going to enter 0 for 2000, and then 2001 would be 1, 2002 would be 2, and so forth, all the way till you get them all. And then L2 is where you're going to enter that data on the right hand, the number of backpack sales. So you start at 1140, 1144, 1113, and you put all those in until you got all the data within it, okay? So that's what you do in those two lists. Okay, and then once that's done, once you have the list 1 and list 2 filled out, you're just going to hit plot 1. So you can hit second y equals. So you hit second y equals. And it will highlight, it'll say stats plot, and it'll say number 1, plot 1 off or on. You want to go ahead and hit enter on that. Turn that to on. So you hit enter, turn it to on. And then make sure your type is listed as looks like this. Hit enter, and then make sure your X list says L1 and your Y list says Y2. And then you can go ahead and hit window if you need to adjust it. So there you can just go ahead and graph. And then if you need to adjust your window, you can hit window. So your graph should look something like this. I think another button that you can push, let me see real quick. Yeah, you can hit zoom. So you hit zoom, and then you go down where it says zoom stat and hit that, and then you should see something that looks more like this where they controlled data within there. Okay, so once that's done, you can go to step 3, and you want to determine the polynomial of best fit, right? So what we want to do is it kind of looks like a quadratic there. So here's what we can do is we can hit stat, arrow over, okay? So you hit stat, you arrow over to where we get to the 7th one over, which is quadratic regression. Okay, so you go to the 7th one, so arrow down. So you arrow over to calculate, and then arrow to number 7, okay? And there you can go ahead and hit enter. Okay, and then you want your X list to be list 1, and you want your Y list to be list 2. Then you can go ahead and go all the way down to hit calculate, and then hit enter, and then hit enter again. And then it should pop up with this information here. Okay, so what it's saying is saying it's a to the 4th power. Our number in front of that x is 0.19, and then it goes x cubed, and the number in front of x cubed is 3 point something, negative 3 point something. The number in front of the x squared is 26 point something. The number in front of the constant, or the x, is negative 14, and then our constant is this. So whatever the largest one is, the a is in front of that, then the second largest, third largest, fourth largest, all the way down to the constant, right? So these will keep on growing. The more to the fifth, you're going to have more of these. To the sixth, you're going to have more of those. Okay, and then so then you can go ahead and write your equation. All right, so you're going to have your equation that you can write that represents it. And then you can go ahead and calculate anytime. Okay, what's going to happen in 2015? So now I can use this equation right here by plugging in my A, B, C, D, and however many till you get to your constant. Okay, so it should show you what your largest one is, and then your second largest. So the next one, which would be cx to the squared. So I put c in front of that. And then next one would be an x, and then last one would be my constant. And then I put those numbers in front, and then I can calculate anything by plugging in my x that I want to calculate for and hit enter, and I can calculate that. Okay, so that's how you can do it, and we can go over this too in class a little bit. One thing to think about is to use this graph to estimate the average rate of change from 2000 to 2010. How could I do that? How could I figure out what the year 2000 is? How could I figure out what the year 2010 is? And how can I find out the average, you know, from this average of 2010 to 2014? So how can I compare those averages?